Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
USC's men's basketball team snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 20-point win Tuesday night at Alabama State. Bronny James scored all 6 of his points in the second half in his third game with the Trojans. He dropped 2 3-pointers. LeBron's son is still on a minutes restriction and continues to come off the bench. The Lakers and Clippers are back in action tonight. The struggling Lakers start a 3-game road trip tonight in Chicago. The Lakers are 1-3 since winning the in-season tournament. 5 p.m. tip-off in Chicago. The Clippers are in Dallas with their 8-game winning streak. During the streak, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 29.3 points and shooting 54% from the floor. Perhaps the most important stat for Kawhi is that he has played in all 26 of the Clippers games this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Imagine dreaming you had one chance to write a song that all the world would sing, and your dreams came true. Now imagine experiencing a life-altering health challenge with mounting medical bills that your share of royalties from that hit song can barely cover. The year? 1970. The songwriter? Nadine McKinnor. The recording artist? Donny Hathaway. The song?
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas.
A match made in heaven. Nadine McKinnor and Donny Hathaway. To date, over 300 artists have covered This Christmas. Unfortunately, because of industry practices and standards in the early 70s, Nadine McKinnor failed to protect her interests and did not benefit financially to the extent she should have. As we know, history is littered with countless untold stories of the accomplishments of hidden black female figures. For over 50 years now, we've been inspired by this heartfelt Christmas classic. Due to a sudden debilitating stroke, Nadine McKinnor is in need of our help to assist with massive medical bills not covered by her insurance. Please show your love to this inspirational woman and writer of our beloved classic. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for you and Nadine. Please contribute as your heart leads you. All donations are welcome. Go right now to the GoFundMe page for Nadine Scott McKinnor or head to the KBLA 1580 website. On behalf of KBLA Talk 1580, thank you in advance for doing your part to honor a true songwriting legend.
And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesdays, where we center Black, women, and BIPOC-owned businesses, highlight opportunities and initiatives for underrepresented entrepreneurs, and center socially innovative enterprises, building generational prosperity, fostering real networking, and recycling Black dollars. It's Wealth Building Wednesdays on KBLA Talk 1580.
And I told you we had a special edition of Wealth Building Wednesday. Today we're featuring the man behind LA's premier soul food caterer and restaurateur. Is a prime example of a business owner turning passion into profit. The owner and operator of 3 successful family-owned soul food restaurants in Los Angeles and Inglewood. He followed in his dad's footsteps. The late, great Adolph Dulan, the king of soul food and the original owner of the critically acclaimed Aunt Kizzy's Back Porch Soul Food Restaurant back in Marina Del Rey back in the day. He oversees Dulan's on Crenshaw, Dulan's Catering, and provides a wealth of knowledge and opportunity. There's a lot more to it, too. Greg Dulan, good morning.
Good morning. Wow, what an introduction.
Yes. Well, this is Wealth Building Wednesday. It's great to see you live in studio. And we really focus on businesses, Black businesses everywhere.
Yeah.
But yours is a multi-generational Black business.
Yeah. I was just talking to some customers the other day and giving them our history. And when I told them that we started in 1975, they just couldn't believe it. But,
Wow, I did not know that.
Our dad, always had the bug to be an entrepreneur. That was all he talked about. And, when he worked for LA County, his dream was to leave and to open his own business. And he that was ingrained in us, and especially me, because I was the oldest child.
Did you ever go through a period you were like, hell no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not taking on my dad's business. I'm going to go be a, I don't know, cameraman or something?
When I went to Howard University, when I left Los Angeles to attend Howard University, I went with the intention of getting a business degree so that I could come home and work in the family business. This is what I've always wanted to do.
Wow.
It's what I've always wanted to do. And there's never a day, even on challenging days, where I feel like I'm going to work or I have a job. I've never felt like that.
What do you feel like?
I'm excited to face the challenges, to serve the customers, to create the catering experience that I do every day. I mean, it's just every day is different. And, I'm just excited. I wake up every morning excited to go to work.
I guess for me, the hub is Dulan's on Crenshaw, because that's where I go, that's where I traditionally have gone and kind of where I be at, the area, right? And you guys were gone for a while. Tell me about that journey.
Yeah, well, it was a rough journey. So, a few years back, we were approached by one of the deputies from the 8th Council District about a facade improvement grant. And, I said, well, I'm thinking, how much can the grant be? And the grant was slated to be for quite a bit of amount of money. And so I decided that if I were going to improve the facade, I was going to improve the inside of the building as well, because the restaurant was built in the 50s. The infrastructure was old. The plumbing, the bathrooms was out of code and compliance. And I said, I'm going to do something nice. And didn't make some good decisions. Some of the decisions I made were not great. Some of the folks I selected to work with me were the wrong selections. And as a consequence of that, my project went on longer than it should have. I'll just say it like that. And so I was able to correct things. I got a new team in there, and they came in, they pumped me up and said, Greg, you can do this. You can do this. And I said, I don't think I can do this. Greg, you can do this. And they pumped me up, and they massaged my shoulders, and they got me back in the game. And I said, you know what, we can do this. And now we have this beautiful, it's a beautiful restaurant. When the public comes in and sees what we have built, a beautiful restaurant that has the Dulan family history on display, going back to our Hamburger City days when we opened in 1975, through on Kizzy's back porch, the Dulan Soul Food Kitchens in Inglewood and on Century, and Dulan's on Crenshaw. And all that history is on display. And when they look at the fact that because of COVID, we changed the design and we added a second kitchen. And so the restaurant has two kitchens, one kitchen to service the public that comes in to dine, and another kitchen to service my to-go customers, my takeout customers, my food truck, and my catering business. Because during COVID, we had all these to-go, all these delivery drivers. I mean, it was horrible. And so I thought about it, and we redesigned it. And so I think we've designed something that's very unique, very innovative, and it should take us well into the future.
So I've driven by. I haven't yet to go in. I will. Are you back open?
So we have been doing a lot of training, and we're actually opening for food service this Saturday. Can I say that?
Yes,
will a lot of people hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're still training because, again, we're behind the schedule that we wanted. But we have a fabulous, I have a dynamite new team who I've been training, folks who live in the neighborhood, folks from all over the world, actually, which is great. Now, let me just say, because of the new facility and the way it's been designed, I'm able to attract a talent pool that I was unable to attract in the past. So I have a great general manager who comes from the corporate environment, Christian Farrell. I have other folks that come from the corporate environment sprinkled in with some of my old employees, and so we have a dynamic new team that is really going to make it nice for everybody.
So Saturday's soft opening.
So Saturday, no, we're going to be ready to go.
You're ready to go. Okay,
I hope I
so
don't
it's a
regret
full
these
opening.
words, but our hours are going to be limited. So
Okay.
we're probably not going to open until like 1 o'clock, and we'll go to about 5 or 6 or something like that. So and then on Sunday we'll be open, but we're just serving and selling our holiday sides. For 25 years I had a special called "You Do the Bird, and We'll Do the Rest," and that was something that we've always done over the years, where we help to prepare the holiday side dishes for our customers. Their greens, their yams, their mac and cheese, the stuff that takes a long time to cook, and folks don't actually, often don't want to cook. Sometimes they don't know how to cook
I was
it.
about to say.
We cook it every day, y'all. We cook it every day, and so it's second nature to us. So on Sunday, we'll be open, but we'll just be selling our holiday side dishes for folks to come and pick up to take home for their Christmas dinner.
Okay. And so then the full Dulan's hours will be in effect after the holiday?
Yeah, so after Christmas, we're going to open, and again, limited hours, because we're training, because we want to make sure we provide excellent customer service. And a lot of the folks that I've hired have never worked in a restaurant business before.
Wow, okay.
And so I'm really taking folks from the neighborhood and really training them. Several of them, this is their first job.
Nice.
And they live literally 2 blocks, 1 block away, and so we're trying to make sure that we have a well-trained team, because when folks come in, I want to make sure that the reviews we get are positive and not negative, and to do that, we have to make sure that everybody's trained really well.
So it sounds like you've taken this opportunity and or misfortune of whatever happens. We all know the contractor drama is a thing, right? And turned it into a total opportunity to retrain, configure your entire business.
Yeah, I mean, so we have the food truck, Dulanville food truck, which is very popular, I should say. And then we built a beautiful community space. Oh, and we have a liquor license.
What?
So yeah, so
bury the lead.
Yeah, so we have a beer and wine license, and we got the beer and wine license because we built these 2 beautiful patios. We have a patio that expands across the front of the restaurant, and so as the train is going by, you're sitting there, you can watch the train while you dine, and the folks on the train can look over and see us dining in the restaurant. But we reimagined our community space in the back of the restaurant, and it's just going to be, it's a great place for folks in the neighborhood to hold significant occasions and events, which we don't have a lot of spaces like that.
Right, like a baby shower or anything
Baby shower, repasts, graduations, and so I'm sure someone out there is thinking, okay, Greg, you have all that. Where are we going to park?
Yeah.
I have a parking lot.
What?
I bought a building down the street. I bought 2 buildings down the street. We're going to tear down one of the buildings, and we're going to have parking. And so right now, prior to me actually building the actual lot, we have contracted with a valet parking service, and so we'll have valet parking initially until we build the actual parking lot next year. So I tried to think of everything.
Okay, look, I want to, when we come forward, I mean, continue this conversation a little bit, because I want to hear about, the Dulanville and the expansion, some of the other, pieces of your Dulan business empire, and also, this part about job creation and expansion. It sounds like what you have gone through would have taken out many a business. We'll look at that when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
This week at Target, get all your holiday shopping done with last-minute deals on must-haves and wants for the season. Discover big deals on toys and tech, plus top deals on clothing, beauty gift sets, and so much more. At Target, find all you need for the holidays. Shop great last-minute deals everyone will love, and get what you need fast with free drive-up. Hurry! Last-minute deals end Sunday. Score low prices and great last-minute deals now at Target. Exclusions apply.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
You know, Wealth Building Wednesday, one of the things we like to do is we spotlight Black-owned businesses, BIPOC, small businesses, socially innovative, meaning they have a mission besides just profit of doing good in the community. Those are the things we look for. And Dulan's has been a staple in the community, or staples. I mean, you have more than one location for many years. I actually remember going to Aunt Kizzy's, and I met your dad was one of the first people I met when I came to LA when I knew no one.
Oh, yeah.
He was always very kind. But anyway, it sounds what you're describing, you know, contractor disaster, delays, COVID. It sounds like it would have taken a lot of businesses under. How did you have the tenacity to stay? And I hope this will inspire some other folks who may be struggling with their business.
Oh boy, COVID should have taken us out. I mean, just alone. And you know, I had to just dig in and just pivot and change. And then there's something that I go to when things really get tough. And I'll just tell you a quick story really fast. But we had Hamburger City on Martin Luther King and Hillcrest. And one day, an angry customer threw a trash can through the window. I know that sounds crazy. And the glass was everywhere, and we had to shut the business down. And then my dad, who wasn't there at the time, came to the restaurant. He started sweeping up the glass. He called a glass company. They replaced the glass, and within 4 hours we were reopened. And I looked at him. He said, and he looked at me and he said, "Son, the business must go on. The business must go on." And that example of that just guts and determination has never left me. And so when things get tough for me, I think about my dad dealing with the situation, because in those days the neighborhood was really rough with the crack epidemic and the gangs and everything like that. But his business was right there in the midst of that. Our business, Hamburger City, was right there in the midst of that. And we thrived. And it was difficult. But me going through those tough times and seeing what it took to succeed and to continue as a business person has never left me, and I think that's something what I draw upon every day.
So I guess I'll put this in the socially innovative category, which is that you've trained a bunch of folks who never worked in restaurants before, trying to make what they call local hires, right? Folks within walking distance. What is the reasoning behind that?
Well, we just don't we don't have a lot of economic engines in our neighborhood. Economic engines that are a draw to people outside our neighborhood. We don't have a lot of options. We need more options for people in the local neighborhood to work. And one of the things I noticed when I was interviewing folks is that their resumes showed that they currently worked in Long Beach or in Culver City, in downtown LA, and they lived 2 blocks away. They lived 2 blocks away. And so, that was one of the things they cited as the reason for taking the interview in the first place, because you're close to where I live. And so I think it's important for us to have a strong business base, because as you know, small business is the major employer in America. I don't know if everybody knows that. Small business is a major employer in America. And the restaurant industry in California is the largest contributor to sales tax in the state of California. And the restaurant industry is an industry of first opportunities and second chances. And so the restaurant industry and restaurants are a key component in local communities. And that's the way I see things.
And you seem, I'm just basing this on observation, but you seem like a person who is definitely dedicated to recycling black dollars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So my contractor is an African-American guy named Victor Nelson. He's built hundreds of restaurants. He's just brilliant. Ardina Brooks. When you come to the restaurant, you're going to see restored historical photos. And Ardina did all the restorations. And she's right here local. And she made my parents and my grandparents look beautiful. And then I had the framing done by Ninth Wave Framing, which is on 54th and Crenshaw. And they took Ardina's pictures, and then they framed them. And I got these beautiful, restored, framed pictures of my grandparents and my family. And then Ed, who lives in Watts, refurbished all my chairs. And I can go on and on. And, it's important. And I believe it's my responsibility to reach out like that and to include as many people in this major, and it is a major project. Lord knows it costs me a lot of money.
No, I'm glad you didn't sell and go to Hawaii and, decide to get out of the business. Okay, I'm trying to squeeze a bunch of stuff in here. The truck, where can we find it, and why is it Dulanville? Dulanville. So some people may or may not know that I went into partnership with Kim Prince from the Prince's Hot Chicken family out of Nashville, Tennessee. And we opened a restaurant called Hotville Chicken, which we operated at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall for 3 years. Sadly, because of situations at the mall and foot traffic, we had to close the restaurant a year ago, last December. But out of that collaboration grew a food truck. And the concept behind the Dulanville food truck is that it's a food truck that can offer Dulan soul food or Hotville chicken. And our thought was that the truck would be busier because we might do a soul food event over here and a Nashville hot chicken event over here. And we just decided to call it Dulanville, which is Dulan soul food and Hotville chicken, a collaboration. Two great brands on one amazing truck. That's our tagline. Okay. So just look for it at the events and festivals and things.
Yeah, we do private events primarily. We don't do street vending. So typically someone's going to call us and we'll take the truck and do private events. And I'm proud to say that our biggest client was the Super Bowl. The NFL Players Association hired our truck for a week during the Super Bowl, and they actually rewrapped the truck in their logo. And not only was that one of the best events that we've ever done, but it was the highest paid event that we've ever done.
Yeah, I bet. What about the menu? Is Dulan's going to be the same? Do we have new stuff or our old favorites?
We're sticking with the old favorites with a little new stuff. And so because we have the second kitchen, we call it our online kitchen, we're able to do different things. And so as an example, in our online kitchen, the hours probably will be a little different. The online kitchen may stay open till, let's say, 11 o'clock, whereas our main kitchen, which services our retail or our in-dining customers, might close at 8 or 9 o'clock. Our online kitchen might open at 7 o'clock in the morning for breakfast, where our main kitchen will open at 11 for our dining. We're looking at doing, obviously a chicken sandwich, different salads and things like that, but we are sticking with our staple fried chicken, smothered chicken, and collard greens, the same things that people have grown. Meatloaf.
I love your meatloaf.
I eat the meatloaf every day. That's what I eat.
I love your meatloaf. Yeah.
I'm a meatloaf person.
Mm-hmm.
So and I want the public to know that we've moved away from the styrofoam. We've got the nice plates.
I do love that.
We've got the 32-ounce. These big giant mason jars. So when you get your iced tea and your lemonade, you got this big lemon.
And with the beer and wine license, I guess that means brunches, right?
Brunch is on the way. Dulan's brunch is coming back.
Okay, all right.
Coming back.
Can't wait.
So we've listened to the community. These are things that the community has said they want. They want a sit-down restaurant. They want real plates. They want alcoholic beverages. And all this ties in and partners with the Destination Crenshaw Project and the Vision Theater, and we're looking at all of that, and so we have an eye towards the future.
And it's the online you're talking about, like if we're ordering through DoorDash or Uber Eats or that kind of thing, right?
Yes.
For those expanded hours.
Right. And so I have an actual takeout window.
Okay.
On the south side of the building.
Okay, so it's not just ordering through an app. We can go up to
you don't even have to come in the restaurant.
Right. Oh, okay.
And it's cashless.
Okay.
So you can order. Your driver no longer has to come into the restaurant and wait in line. We literally will have a parking designated area. You drive up, and if you're in the car and you got 3 small children, we'll bring it out to your car. So we've tried to think of everything to give a good quality service based on the feedback that I've received over my 32 years on Crenshaw.
And for those who have never been, it is on Crenshaw. What's the address?
4859 Crenshaw Boulevard.
Of course, you can still go to Dulan's and Inglewood and
Manchester and La Brea.
Yeah.
Century and Western.
Yes, indeed. Well, Greg Dulan, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
I'm so excited. So Saturday, we'll be open from 1 to about 6. And again, we're training. So don't be hard on us, whatever.
Sweet.
Be sweet.
Yeah,
be sweet.
Be holiday style.
Holiday.
And then now we don't have to make our greens because Sunday we can pick up those side orders.
Sunday, call it. Hey, place your order starting today. We're doing the greens, the yams, the mac, string beans, dressing, couple other things. You do the bird, and we'll do the rest.
Greg Dulan, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is time for news, traffic, and sports, and we'll be talking with Dr. Melina Abdullah next on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here's to a holiday season full of peace, joy, and happiness. Happy Kwanzaa from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. National Civil Rights Attorney Benjamin Crump will hold a news conference in Jackson, Mississippi today to discuss planned litigation over the burial of 3 men in a pauper cemetery without their families' knowledge. The African-American attorney has been retained to represent the families of Dexter Wade, Mario Moore, and Jonathan Hankins. All say they were kept in the dark about their loved ones, even though the city was aware of their whereabouts. Airports will be packed over the holidays. AAA predicting this holiday season will be the busiest ever for air travel, with Thursday and Friday likely to be the most active days for departures. The record for airline travelers was set back in 2019 when over 7 million flyers crowded the airports. AAA predicts that record will be broken this year. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Don't miss out on new deals every day at Lowe's. Get up to 30% off plus save an extra $750 on select major appliances. Valid through 12/20. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
USC's men's basketball team snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 20-point win Tuesday night at Alabama State. Bronny James scored all 6 of his points in the second half in his third game with the Trojans. He dropped 2 3-pointers. LeBron's son is still on a minutes restriction and continues to come off the bench. The Lakers and Clippers are back in action tonight. The struggling Lakers start a 3-game road trip tonight in Chicago. The Lakers are 1-3 since winning the in-season tournament. 5 p.m. tip-off in Chicago. The Clippers are in Dallas with their 8-game winning streak. During the streak, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 29.3 points and shooting 54% from the floor. Perhaps the most important stat for Kawhi is that he has played in all 26 of the Clippers games this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
There are many things to love about winter. Cozy sweaters, celebrations, and family time. But winter can also bring many stressors, extra expenses, seasonal bugs, and so much family time. If you and your loved ones are feeling stressed or anxious this winter, CalHope can help. Check out our free mental health resource at calhope.org today.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Imagine dreaming you had one chance to write a song that all the world would sing, and your dreams came true. Now imagine experiencing a life-altering health challenge with mounting medical bills that your share of royalties from that hit song can barely cover. The year? 1970. The songwriter? Nadine McKinnor. The recording artist? Donny Hathaway. The song?
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas.
A match made in heaven. Nadine McKinnor and Donny Hathaway. To date, over 300 artists have covered This Christmas. Unfortunately, because of industry practices and standards in the early 70s, Nadine McKinnor failed to protect her interests and did not benefit financially to the extent she should have. As we know, history is littered with countless untold stories of the accomplishments of hidden black female figures. For over 50 years now, we've been inspired by this heartfelt Christmas classic. Due to a sudden debilitating stroke, Nadine McKinnor is in need of our help to assist with massive medical bills not covered by insurance. Please show your love to this inspirational woman and writer of our beloved classic. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for you and Nadine. Please contribute as your heart leads you. All donations are welcome. Go right now to the GoFundMe page for Nadine Scott McKinnor or head to the KBLA 1580 website. On behalf of KBLA Talk 1580, thank you in advance for doing your part to honor a true songwriting legend.
And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
Merry Christmas.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of this light of ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This light of ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This light of ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio, KBLA Talk 1580.
And my colleague, Dr. Melina Abdullah, is on the phone. Yes, she is a professor at Cal State LA. Y'all forgot about that part because she's a radio host, too. She does This Is Not a Drill Saturday mornings at 8 with Black Lives Matter. And, of course, she is the director of Black Lives Matter Grassroots and lead organizer for BLM LA. Dr. Melina Abdullah, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. So we are in the middle of Black Xmas, right?
Yep, Black Xmas, the time of year when we build black, buy black, and bank black, and also challenge white supremacist capitalism. So we're going to have our big Black Xmas demonstration on Saturday.
Yeah, you know, those Black Xmas demonstrations always seem to catch me and others by surprise. You're in the middle of restaurants. You're here at Beverly Hills and Rodeo Drive. You're popping up, as you say, challenging white supremacy and predatory capitalism. But this year, it's not a surprise at all. Everyone's invited, and it's a huge march, correct?
Yeah, so we're going to, this is our Black Times Palestine March. So we are lifting up a call for a ceasefire here and there. So we know that Black people in the United States are targets of police violence. We know that this year, LAPD especially has killed more Black people than it has any time in the current period. We're up to 23 police killings at the hands of LAPD and more than 30 shootings at the hands of LAPD. But across the country, there have been over 1,000, over 1,100 folks killed by police in this country. And we know in many ways what's happening to Black people in the United States mirrors what's happening to Palestinian people in occupied Palestine. And so this is a solidarity march with the Palestinian people. Of course, the families that we work with will be with us and will pour love on them. But also lots of our Palestinian folks will be out and will be calling again for a ceasefire here and in Palestine, in a free Palestine, and for Black lives to actually matter.
Where is this march taking place?
So we're starting at La Cienega Park on La Cienega and Gregory Way. That's just off of Wilshire Boulevard. La Cienega and Wilshire are the two major cross streets, asking people to get there on Saturday at 3 p.m. It's supposed to not rain on Saturday. So we have an opportunity to be out. And, of course, the route, we always keep that private. But starting at 3 p.m. at La Cienega Park.
All right, all are welcome. People have short memories, but I remember Black Lives Matter marches, and not that long ago, where consistently I would see Palestinian folks marching on behalf of Black people.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I remember being in Ferguson in 2014 in a heavy Palestinian presence. I remember how the Palestinian youth movement showed up for us in the 2020 uprisings. And, for Black people, there's a long history of solidarity with Palestine. We can think about Nelson Mandela's words that, Black liberation will not be complete until Palestine is free. We can think about the words of James Baldwin and Toni Morrison and Audre Lorde and so many others, Malcolm X and Huey P. Newton, who lifted up these parallels. When we talk about Palestinian people living in open-air prisons, we can relate to that. When we talk about the targeting of Palestinian children and the way in which Black children are targeted here, we relate to that. So a lot of those experiences resonate with us, and Palestinians as early as 2014 in the Black Lives Matter movement lifted up that what Black people experience here resonates with them in Palestine. And so we see parallels in the ways in which powerful states target and treat and genocide us, but also we see parallels in the resistance. And I think many of us, and there was a recent AP article about this, many of us draw inspiration from the ways in which the Palestinian people have refused to submit to the murderous and genocidal practices of Israel.
Now, there's also a long history of solidarity between Black activists and Black liberation movements and Jewish progressive Jewish people in this country. And I saw an article, it's about a week ago in the LA Times, where it said that the widespread African-American support for Palestinian rights is straining that alliance. I know that quiet as it's kept, even clergy for Black Lives includes rabbis, right? So do you think that's true? How do you perceive the impact on the solidarity between Jewish progressive and Black activists under this current global strain of what's happening in Gaza?
Well, I think it's been a very difficult, especially in the beginning, after October 7th, a very difficult conversation to have with a lot of our Jewish folks. But I think that it's recentering us. So justice-loving Jewish folks have been really challenging Zionism. If we think about organizations like Jewish Voice for Peace, and If Not Now, what we've seen happen is a distinction drawn between Judaism and Zionism. So our outrage is over Zionism. Our outrage is over the genocide of the Palestinian people at the hands of murderous Zionist practices. And I think what we've seen with the 110 freeway shutdown, with the demonstrations at Hollywood and Highland that organizations like Jewish Voice for Peace organized and invited Black Lives Matter into, is Jewish folks saying, wait a minute, not in our name, and them kind of drawing a distinction between Jewish folks who are not Zionists, who are anti-Zionist, and these practices of Zionism that lead to the genocide of Palestinian people.
The Black Lives Matter grassroots, of course, houses 33 different chapters, and people. I don't know if people are really aware of how much work continues to go on, even though maybe the CNN spotlight is not shining on the work that you guys are doing anymore.
Yeah, I mean, regardless if there's a spotlight or not, we're going to continue to do the work. So there are 33 chapters around the country that are doing phenomenal work, lifting up during the season when we talked about Black Xmas, Build Black, Buy Black, Bank Black. What our chapters are doing is also highlighting Black-owned businesses that benefit the Black community. So on BLM grassroots social media and our Black Xmas website, which is blackxmas.org, we lift up Black-owned businesses all around the country. We're engaging in this work, really deep political education work, asking folks to shake off the frenzy of rampant consumerism and say, you know what, you don't have to buy. You can also give gifts that are meaningful by investing in Black-led organizations and donating in the names of your loved ones as their holiday gifts. And so there's work that's happening all around the country. I'm also thinking about the terrible murder of Steve Perkins in Alabama, where a lot of that work, and Steve Perkins was a Black father who was murdered right outside of his home as there was an illegal repossession of his vehicle. A lot of that work is being spearheaded by our Black Lives Matter Birmingham, Alabama chapter. The work of the Goon Squad, which was, or the exposure of the Goon Squad in Mississippi, which has been targeting Black people for decades. Their exposure and the prosecution of those cops who call themselves the Goon Squad, very similar to the LA sheriff's gangs, they were prosecuted and they're sentenced to prison terms. That was the work of Black Lives Matter Grassroots Mississippi. So again, the work is going to go on whether or not we're named in the work, whether or not CNN or MSNBC covers it. We're going to go on because Black people need us, because we need to be free, and we're going to work until we're free, whether or not it's recognized.
Dr. Melina Abdullah is on the mic. You're welcome in 800-920-1580, continuing the conversation when we come forward exclusively right here, KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Day one, the hardest day, the day you hear,
"This is a type of blood cancer."
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
To learn more and get help on day 2, day 28, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
It's the gift-giving season, and we have a gift for you. Visit us online at KBLA.store for holiday savings of 20% off all of our KBLA swag. For the best in merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store right now. And be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all our official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580, at 20% off, but only during the holiday season. Happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Cover California is a free service from the state that
that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by December 31st at coveredca.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, talking with Dr. Melina Abdullah, I have to say it has been an honor working with you, just not just on the radio, but also, working a little consulting around the media efforts, the comm side of things, and just the work that I see you doing in educating our community. And when I'm saying our community right now, I'm talking about the press, because it's always, we do our best to be fair and to be, some people would say, unbiased. But a lot of times we're being fed such a steady diet of misinformation that we're not even aware of the fact that we might be repeating talking points, or that we might be taking in information that is just absolutely not true.
Yeah, I really appreciate the way in which we've been pulling together Black media. That's Black media, Black-owned media, as well as Black journalists who work for mainstream media, to make sure that they know that what we're doing. And we were kind of forced to start doing that because, as you know, the Global Network Foundation, the thieves that run the Global Network Foundation stole not only the vast majority of our resources, but also stole our social media platforms. So where we used to have a big reach on Instagram, being able to reach about 5 million people through social media, we now no longer have that. And so it kind of forced us to be in deeper conversation with Black media. And it's been just a wonderful process of getting to know Black journalists, getting to more tightly work with Black-owned media, and the importance of Black-owned media continues to come up. I always use the African proverb that until the lion tells the story, the hunter will always be the hero. But people like you and stations like KBLA are so important to telling our own stories, to making sure we cover things like Black Lives Matter's partnership with Isaac Bryan and Areva Martin to do Christmas in the Park last weekend, right? And give away over 10,000 toys. People don't know that that's Black Lives Matter work.
Miles was there. Miles, what'd you think?
Awesome. It was. Hold on. I have my mic.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I have my mic down. It was a really great turnout. It was my first time actually popping out and seeing how, the amount of the community that they helped and that they gave away. I've seen people walking blocks away with presents to put in their car. It was a great thing to see, man. I'm glad they got out there and did that.
And Black Lives Matter actually sat up there and wrapped thousands of presents and helped distribute that, and was, a partner with the assembly member on that. I think a lot of folks didn't realize it, but it was kind of heartwarming to walk into the Center for Black Power and see all these, hardcore activists sitting there wrapping stacks and stacks of presents. I love that.
Yeah, and it also tells the story of what did Black Lives Matter Los Angeles do with its resources. Well, we bought this building right here on the corner of Crenshaw and 43rd Place called the Center for Black Power, that's used for things like wrapping holiday gifts and hosting summer programs for children and having meetings and, doing the work of Black community, doing food giveaways, and so making sure that those stories are told, and Black media has become a full partner in making sure that those stories are told.
Yeah, I think it's important. I also think a lot of folks just ignore Black media. We're last on their list. They don't mind canceling on us in a way that they wouldn't do CNN. And so I think that's also an important piece of that work that you guys are doing. Just got a couple minutes here, but I got to ask you about this story around the chief of police for the city of Los Angeles allegedly calling for an investigation, assigning a couple of detectives to investigate Mayor Karen Bass, after she was elected, to become around the USC scholarship, which had already been approved by the Ethics Commission of the Congress where she worked at the time. It's a story the chief denies, but one that it tracks with, the opposition of the LAPD to Mayor Bass at all.
Yeah, and it happened at a time when he was seeking reappointment, when Black Lives Matter Los Angeles was calling for his non-reappointment, when tens of thousands of Angelenos signed a petition saying fire Chief Moore or at least don't reappoint him. He was trying to, it seems that the timing can't be coincidental. He was trying to secure his reappointment by any means, including unethical and I believe illegal means. And I think this is yet another reason why Black Lives Matter continues to lift up that more has to go. We say no more. Not only because he leads the most murderous and corrupt police department in the country, but when we think about forms of corruption, this is one of them, it seems that he was attempting to threaten and, really retaliate against the mayor were she not to reappoint him.
Yeah, it's I guess when you say illegal, that's you with your political scientist hat on?
Absolutely. I mean, but you don't need to be a political scientist to know that using police resources to try to blackmail somebody is illegal, right? That's illegal. So, yeah.
It's like a plot of a TV show. Okay, but Saturday you have a march. All are invited. Let's remind people how to track that and how to go.
Yes, so Saturday, 3 p.m. at La Cienega Park on La Cienega and Gregory. That's just off of Wilshire are the two main streets. So La Cienega Park in Beverly Hills. Meet us there at 3 o'clock. This is something that you should bring your children to, bring your families to. We are saying ceasefire here and there, stop the killing of Black people by police, and end the genocide against the Palestinian people, free Palestine. So please march with us, be there. It's our Black Xmas March. Lots of the families that we work with will be there, prayerfully including the family of Niani Finlayson, who was the Black mother who was killed by LA County Sheriff just a couple weeks ago in her own home. And we want to make sure we lift up Niani Finlayson's name, who was killed in front of her 9-year-old daughter by the same LA County Sheriff deputy who in 2020 murdered Black father Michael Thomas out in the Antelope Valley.
So that's 3 o'clock, La Cienega near Wilshire. And I guess we can, follow, as we try to rebuild these platforms, follow BLM Grassroots?
Yes, BLM Grassroots for our national work and BLM Los Angeles on Instagram, BLM LA on X for our local work. Again, that's BLM Los Angeles on Instagram, BLM LA on X, and BLM Grassroots on all social media.
Dr. Melina Abdullah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sister Dominique.
Going to take a look at trans rights when we come forward with Peabody Award-winning journalist Imara Jones. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the